Alright guys, I've come to the realization that some people may need some extra help on their argumentative essay about whether or not Frankenstein's creature is human. So here we are, we're going to do one together. My essay is a little bit different. My prompt is Banjo the cutest dog ever? So totally easy topic for me to write about. We're going to go through this step by step, starting with our thesis. So, day one, thesis and gathering evidence. In my essay, I will argue both sides, but I will ultimately choose one as my final answer. Describe which side you will ultimately argue and explain the most convincing reason for your position. So, for my thesis statement, I'm going to use words from the prompt. Is Banjo the cutest dog ever? I'm going to say, Banjo is the cutest dog ever because of his, ever, because of his soft, pretty fur and because of his nubbin tail. Y'all know I call his tail his nubbin because it's barely there, but it's still cute. Okay? By the way, he's right here on the couch with me trying to get me to throw a toy for him, so that's super special. You might hear him throughout this. All right. I've chosen my argument and my main reason behind it, so it's time to find evidence. Read each quotation from the text with an open mind. It might show that Banjo is the cutest dog ever or not the cutest dog ever. Let's pretend that's what it says. Type yes or no to answer this question. Does the quote support the idea that Banjo is the cutest dog ever? This one definitely says that Banjo is the cutest dog ever. Oh, go away. This one also does. Let's see. This one does not say that. Oops. No. That was very aggressive. No. This one does not. This one does not. Ooh, this one does. So does this one. Go away. Go away. Thank you. No. Yes. Wah! He turned on my caps lock. Okay, I need you to sit down, please. Sit. Thank you. Let's see. This one's a yes. No. Yes. And yes. Okay. We're going to make an outline for paragraph 1 of my essay, in which I will state my position and develop my most convincing reason for my position. Decide what reason I will develop to support my position in the first paragraph. Banjo is or is not the cutest dog ever because. Okay. I need to find 2 to 3 pieces of evidence that I will use to develop this reason. Now, let's see. This one supports what I'm saying. It's definitely not about the female creature. It's totally about Banjo's fur. Okay? This is just an outline, so it's okay if I kind of go easy on myself for a second. Next, I want to talk about his tail. So let's go find something about his tail. I need something that agreed with my position that said that, oh, there we go. That's a good one. That says that his tail makes him super cute. Okay, that's a great one. I'm going to stick that right there. So let's go into some more depth. This text evidence shows that Banjo's fur is very soft and pretty. His hair is easy to brush. It feels nice to pet him. And it rarely gets tangled. His fur is pretty because it has lots of colors and it sticks out a little bit and makes him look extra fluffy. this makes Banjo the cutest dog ever. Okay, next let's talk about his tail. This text evidence right here. So this text evidence shows that Banjo's tail makes him very cute. It's barely an inch long, and sometimes he wags it, but most of the time he wags his whole booty. I call it his nubbin because I think it's funny. I got the joke from a Friends episode. Okay, I could put a third piece of text evidence here, but I don't think I'm going to. I think these two are just fine the way they are. So let's go ahead and move on to paragraph 2. Now, body paragraph 2 is a little bit different because this is about the counter argument. So, according to number 1, I need to look at these sentence starters. I'm going to make myself a little bit of space here. And I'm going to use the sentence starter that goes with my thesis statement. One counter argument to my claim that Banjo is the cutest dog ever is, I need to fill in the blank. What would people who disagree with me think? They would think that some people prefer big dogs with long, fluffy tails. Okay, because he's kind of medium sized. He's like 35 pounds. He's not an itty bitty little dog, but he's not a big dog either. Now, I need to find text evidence that proves why these people are wrong. I'm not finding text evidence to support what they said. So, I am going to rebut this counter argument and prove these people wrong. Let's go find some evidence. Since the yeses are what go with my thesis, let's find a yes that supports me here. Ooh, good one. This one's great. So I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to come down and put it here. What am I going to say? This text evidence shows that big dogs can sometimes knock people over when they get excited. Since Banjo is not a big dog, he can only knock over small children. I don't have any small children that would cry if this happened. So Banjo stays looking cute instead of being dangerous. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, now I need to go find another piece of text evidence to talk about how long tails aren't as good as a short tail. Let's see. Ooh, here we go. Here's a great one. This one shows us that long tails aren't that great. So let's come down here. I'm going to go ahead and paste my text evidence, and I'm going to say how this text evidence shows that I'm right and that other people are wrong. This text evidence shows that long tails on dogs can sometimes knock over drinks on the coffee table. Since Banjo just has a short tail, he can't knock anything over with it. This keeps him from being a nuisance, and it makes him seem cuter. My boyfriend's dog 100% knocks stuff off the coffee table with his tail. He's still cute though. It's okay. All right. We finished day 1. So now we're on day 2, body paragraph 1. Now, since I did my job good yesterday, I will be able to copy and paste a lot of stuff and make my life a lot easier. Body paragraph 1 is about my reasoning and evidence for why Banjo is the cutest dog ever. So I'm actually going to come all the way back up here to day 1, and I'm going to copy my thesis statement. Okay? Then I'm going to go back down. I know it's a lot. And then I'm going to paste it. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to just say the same thing twice. That makes me sound repetitive and kind of little kiddish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this in I don't know, not more intelligent, but in a different way that sounds a little more detailed. So I'm going to say Banjo could be considered to be the most adorable dog of all time because of his gorgeous, luscious hair and because of his petite tail. I said the exact same thing, just with different words. So let's go ahead and get rid of this because I don't need it anymore. This is great. Okay, now again, we're going to come back up. Let's go look at day 1 again. Look at all this that I wrote yesterday. This is great. Since I did a good job and I put the hard work in yesterday, I am going to be able to just copy and paste. Wow. Now, I've got everything right here, and it's easy to see, and it's easy for me to refer back to. It says, in the space below, write out your first body paragraph. Remember that your paragraph should introduce your controlling idea, bring up evidence, explain that evidence, bring up more evidence, explain that evidence, and then have a closing sentence in that order. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is introduce my controlling idea. That's this right here. That's my thesis statement that I changed. So I did a good job right there, so I can just copy and paste it. Now, I have a problem here. I need to indent my paragraph. If I hit tab like I'm supposed to, another box shows up, and we don't really want that. So sometimes if you tab and it doesn't indent, you can hit the space bar 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I have a perfect indent. Okay, so I introduced my controlling idea. Now I need to bring up evidence. I don't want to just jump straight into it. So I'm going to say, according to Grizz Grimley on page 143, he says, and then notice my comma, space, quotation marks. I don't really feel like using this whole thing. I'm just going to use this little bit that Victor totally talks about hair with, my dog's hair. Yeah. And I'm done. I'm going to put a period at the end and then quotation marks. Now, I put the words "this text evidence shows" a lot. I want to only use it once. Okay? I'm going to copy and paste this, but I'm not really going to use it. I'm going to adjust things just like I did with my controlling idea. This text evidence shows that Banjo's fur is very soft and pretty. Very soft and pretty. Those are kind of boring words, so why don't we change them up? I'm going to come up here and I'm going to Google Synonym for soft and pretty. These more have to do with personality, so that's not going to work. So let's just start with soft first. Synonym for soft. Mushy, squashy. Ugh, this sounds like a rotten banana. Gross. Let's see what else we've got. Quiet, gentle, lenient, kind. None of these are really working for me. Why don't we look up synonym for fuzzy? Woolly, velvety, silken. I like silken. His hair definitely feels like silk sometimes. Fur is that banjo's. This text evidence shows that that banjo's silken fur is, let's see, let's find a synonym for pretty, because that's kind of a boring word. I like lovely. Let's go with lovely. Is lovely. His hair is easy to brush. It feels nice to pet him, and it rarely gets tangled. So let's replace this sentence. I'm going to say his hair makes for an easy grooming experience. And we need a comma. We have a compound sentence. And it is relaxing to pet him. His fur is pretty because it has lots of colors and it sticks out a little bit and makes him look extra fluffy. Okay. His fur is, instead of pretty, it's beautiful. That's a little bit better. It's still kind of a boring word, but it's better than pretty because it has lots of colors. Because it comes in shades of mahogany, chocolate, and even coffee. Ooh! It sticks out a little bit. It makes him look extra fluffy. I've already written a lot about his fur. Sticks out a little bit. It makes him look extra fluffy. Nah, let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay? Oh, bless you. This makes Banjo the cutest dog ever. That's not a very good closing sentence for that. Well, let's come back to that chunk. Now, we need to bring up more evidence. This time, we're going to use this evidence right here about his tail. Okay? I want to introduce it though. I don't want to just jump straight into it. Whoops. Banjo is an almost 2-year-old Australian Shepherd. He turns 2 on Saturday. Banjo is an almost 2-year-old Australian Shepherd. Many Aussies are born without a tail, and Banjo is one of them. Let's see. How do I want to introduce my text evidence? Grimly tells the reader, ooh, that's a good one. All right, notice my comma, space, quotation marks. I'm going to come up. I only need a piece of it, so I'm going to use this bit. I'm going to copy. Oh, and it's not Grimly. Look, it's Shelley. This is from the original book. So I'm going to say, Shelley tells the reader this. Now, I'm not quite done because I don't have any page numbers. So I'm going to put open parentheses. This is from chapter 7, 4, paragraph 4 maybe? Okay. Chapter 7, 4. Close parentheses, period. Bam. Now, let's do the same thing we did earlier. We're going to take what we wrote, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right here, and then just change my words. This text evidence shows, now I already wrote that up here, so I don't really want to say it again. Let's say this shows the audience that Banjo's tail makes him very cute. Ooh, that Banjo's tail makes him, let's not say cute again, makes him adorable. It's barely an inch long, and sometimes he wags it, but most of the time he wags his whole booty. Let's see. First of all, I've got a run-on sentence, so I definitely want to break it up into multiple sentences instead of just one. It's barely an inch long. His tail is very short in stature and is not always visible underneath his hair. We're going to take out the word and because we don't want to start a sentence with the word and. Sometimes he wags it, but most of the time he wags his whole booty. Sometimes he wags his tail when he wants to share a toy with someone, but most of the time, comma, he wags his whole booty. I don't want to say booty because this is kind of a formal essay and this is not a formal word. So let's say behind. I call it his nubbin because I think it's funny. I got the joke from a Friends episode. Here's the thing. This does not add anything to my essay. This is an extraneous detail. It's extra. I don't need it, and it's not about my dog, so I'm going to get rid of it. This also doesn't really go with anything, so I'm going to get to take this one out too. Okay? All that's left is a closing sentence. How about all in all, these two attributes make Banjo the cutest dog on this planet. Notice I still have some of my words from the prompt. Now, did anyone catch my issue? When I started to talk about a new piece of evidence, I should have used a transition word or phrase right here. I started to talk about his tail, and I'm changing away from his hair. So I need a transition. Without transition words and phrases, you have less organized writing. So I'm going to say, in addition, Banjo is an almost 2-year-old Australian Shepherd. We are all done with this body paragraph. Okay? Next is day 3, body paragraph 2. Where are we on time? I've been talking for 24 minutes. I'm going to end this video right here and pick up again for day 3. Okay? See you in a little bit.